doesn't want me taking it. Come on in here. Here, stop. Getting all organized here. Hi, you guys. Okay. Welcome in. Boom. I am starting on time. Yeah, sorry guys. I really needed to let out what I did earlier for pretty good reasons. Pissed me off is what it is. I'm going to put these on my laptop right now. There we go. Hi, welcome to WCIA Network, where everything I do and say falls under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Hi. Yep, don't forget to tap that thumbs up, guys, is right, Rumpel. Hi, Rumpel, Colleen, Jackie, Sherry, Jean, Mary, Boston. Hi, you guys. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when Muffin gets in here, because she wasn't sure what time she'd pop in. Okay, you guys. Well, earlier, well, everyone that's new here, welcome in. And welcome into my WCAA network family. Moving right along here, right? About June, July, August, September, October. Before you know, it'll be 2.5 years since Summer Moon Utah Wells went missing. And we have many channels that are playing the same games. Now, if they know it or not, they're playing the same games, right? So, this is very serious. The reason being is because we're now over 2 years into Summer being missing. Everything is allegedly correct. Everything I do and say, like I said, falls under Section 107 Copyright Act 1976. It is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Because we here just give our philosophy, our thoughts, my readings on what I believe to be true within myself. And I went on earlier with this thing. And I have a pretty damn good reason for doing that. Let's see. Let me see something before. Let me see something before I go on. Because I really didn't look at this and get the best photos. 1 minute. It's going to be a good live, you guys. 1 minute. All right, let me just see something real fast, okay? As we are on,
unfortunately,
let me see something. Uno momento. I want to see how close I could get to this phone. Now, earlier I went on discussing JLR's last video with this Trevor guy. And what I was discussing is how the deep fake, no matter what, keeps going and going and going, and these creators are still showing elements that could possibly find summer moon, right? And for some reason, the creators don't want to discuss it, and nor do they want to acknowledge it. So every time right before I go on the day of, I turn on YouTube, and whatever shows up for me shows up. And that's what I look at. I don't care if it showed up in my feed or if it just showed up within seconds. I just look, and then I, plop and watch whatever looks correct for me. Well, this one looked correct for me. So I opened it up, and the first thing I saw was something's wrong with this photo. Like, I see a canoe. Now, when I say I see a canoe and information in their videos, it doesn't necessarily mean they know. I'm bringing it to their attention, and it's something that I'm asking the creator to acknowledge, so they could help solve summer moon wells. Because every creator that I look at and look at their information, they are creators that are looking to find summer moon. And they haven't stopped either. So why is it that the creators won't acknowledge that they have deep fakes in their videos? That's a real question, you guys. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. I am saying, listen, you guys might have information that needs to be sent to TBI ASAP. Because when I see something like a canoe, to me that is major information. Because for those who don't know, a canoe had a lot to do with it. There's always a canoe involved. Obviously, that's allegedly, and that's just what I think, right? It doesn't mean that it's true. But when you look at this photo, that's a goddamn fucking canoe. That's a boat. So no matter how you want to think in your own head and think that it's just a pigment of our imagination because, oh my God, she sees things and it just doesn't see the correct stuff. No. This photo has a canoe. It has a boat with a V. It has the heart. It has the white thing. It has the SUMMERWELLS Missing Children's information. Thank you for those ones. So you guys may want to come in here, put your little thumbs down. I don't care. Because when I tell you that the elements of summer moon are in this live, they're right there. So for those who just want to come in here and really don't care about finding SUMMERWELLS and the missing children, that's the V. Most importantly, that's a boat. And that's what I really want to start this shit out with, because people have to look. Like, if you're looking at something and your gut feeling is like, there's something else in this video. Well, there usually is. There usually is. There's a lot of stuff like this in the video. And you'll find it in the phone. It is in the phone. That comes from this. So pay attention. Don't be a bystander, right? Don't be a bystander that just sits there and waits for other people to give you the answers. Because we'll never, ever, ever solve this thing if we wait and sit back and wait for other people to give us the answers. It won't work. So let me show you how I do this. Let me put this here. You get rid of these. And then I'm going to start with page 1 of this insane, amazing. Now here you're going to hear this phone. You're going to hear my voice here because just look, and then I plop. Look, because I just did this. So how I do this, you guys, is super simple. I let my fingers do the walking. Right? So I let my fingers do the walking, and I just go to where I didn't do this one very well because I just let it go to where the phone is. Let's see if this one is okay. Interesting. The two windows overlap. See how, let me show you. These are called deep fakes. How all of a sudden they're in one room. Watch. Is this it? See how his ear, let me show you. All of a sudden his background is in the same background as JLR. See that? And it's in this one, he isn't. So that's how you know there's deep fake. Like, where are you? Like, where are you really sitting? Are you not sitting there? Are you sitting somewhere else? Because video doesn't lie. Like, that video tells me that this area here isn't really there. And this is what I mean by deep fake. This area here isn't here. It's the grass. It's JLR's grass, as if he's sitting next to him. See, it only has this, and then his ear and everything goes into the grass. Like, what the fuck is that about? That's called deep fake. That's called deep fake. That is called someone is bullshitting someone. See that? This is deep fake. Like, where are they? Are they both lying? Is this actually something where they are both lying for clicks? No, think about it, you guys. You need to really look at what I'm showing you. Look what I'm showing you. That is not that. See how fake? Like, who is this and what is this? Who's fooling who? Is it you guys that are actually putting the deep fake and putting and showing this boat? Is it? Are you really over by the water and showing the boat that carried Summer Moon away? Because right now, I call bullshit. This is what I'm talking about, you guys. This photo does not match what's going on over here. Same video. Doesn't match. Look. So who put the boat in there? Who put the boat in there? So for the TBI that I already sent this stuff to, telling them I was going to go over this, understand that there's not just a boat, but they're lying about where they are. This does not match this. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that, that the videos are getting done very poorly, and you're forgetting that there's someone like me here that's going to take little photos of that phone and investigate it. Your little phone there, in that little teeny square, should always be the same no matter how small it is. Guess what? You're showing the SUMMERWELLS Missing Children's story in there. I know you are. There's your 3 layers right here. This video should be investigated. Investigated and looked at very closely to see what is on that phone and to see what is on this video. Because when you've got 3 scenes that come together, and they're separated by that maroon and white wall. That strip that's maroon and white. This is called the Summer Moon Wells Missing Children's element. This is called someone is showing a sacrifice. This is showing a sacrifice. And the more you play with the lighting, that is when the elements come out. Look at his head. Look at his mouth. What is this? I'm doing this live. I mean, I'm not doing anything other than moving the cursor. To show you that what is in here needs to be looked at. Anytime you have a phone like that involved that flashes up like that, you need to look at it. And especially when it has JLR in it. So this is an example of how it's done. You know, this video, you guys said it's two different places. What I'm saying is they're in the same place. And it's like a green screen that's used. See? See what I mean? Because as when he holds the phone up, it's covering the ceiling that's in between the two, right in the middle. So that's the buffer. I'll show you. This is the buffer. This is what's between them. So there's no reason the phone should be crossing over into his video. It's impossible in film. Like this here is showing that it's here and here. It's just really messed up. So this is why I showed it earlier. And the most important thing is the picture of that boat. I mean, I don't like this video. I don't like this video at all. So this is how you find the images, just like that. You go over those. He's in a dark room. I don't even think this is the same person. I think this is a different person. I get this not to be the guy that we think it is. Totally not the same person. Okay, so here's my intuitive gut. This is completely a different person. I don't know what this is, but these guys here are the deep fake right here. These guys here are the deep fake. Right there. Oh, I have a headache too. It won't go away. It's funny. It's not like a headache. It's like a weird headache. It's like a pressure headache. So I don't want to spend much more time on this. It's already been a half an hour. Just understand that this photo that came from this video is very, very urgent. Very, very urgent to look into. That is a boat. No matter how you slice and dice it, that is a boat. So, going back to this, that's how I started the day. That's just a little lesson. When you see something, look closely. Look closely when you feel you're supposed to. Don't just look at what they want you to look at. In the SUMMERWELLS missing children's cases, there's a bigger photo within the photos. There's a bigger picture. There's a bigger picture. So, here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have got a nice presentation here that I'm continuing from last time I was on. I said that these creators are showing the story, and I showed you some photos from the creator that actually had naked body parts, and I did not put them on. What I am showing you are the photos from that creator are major elements that started years ago. I'm starting with this photo because this photo is years ago, and I told you guys this was it was marked Robert Vaughn, and he's in a wood shop. In this wood shop, I believe allegedly he did create the mathematical system that's behind placement of these things for the resurrection, that's behind what they do with some of these body parts. And my whole entire presentation is going to keep going back to Robert Vaughn's presentation because I want you guys to see how it completely matches, parallel matches. What you see his head going into, and this person with his head, I'm going to show you I'm going to show you the same photo, but I want you guys to focus in on the metal, how the metal is the same around his head. He is in the same box as Summer Moon, in a metal box with the maroon outline. Let me use my pointer. And these things have not changed. This is the box, and he actually has plastic over here. This is the box. This is the corner his head goes in. This is the corner. So pretend that this is your fake car. This is the head. This is the equipment. The eyes go on. This has not changed. This has not shifted. It's the same thing that you see to the left. To the left is the inside of one of Ryan's Upchurch's mom's cars. And it shows the same information. it shows, let me open it up wider, that same metal, the little V is in there, but this thing that's maroon is green in here. See, these are equipment pieces, and they're under the plastic. So people, they're looking down on this person in the hole. Nothing has changed. This is what these pieces of equipment look like. So what you're looking at here is the piece of equipment that was created. This was created. The Beckman family shows it to the best of my ability to show you guys how the elements I'm showing you today that I take from YouTube creators in the year 2023 have gone back many, many, many years. And this here shows the structure of what's going on. This here, allegedly to me, is the photo of going down under. This represents the information that I say this pole brings you down into the ground. Now, all I know is it brings you down into the ground. This might be a lighthouse. This might be one of the poles that are by a mill. This might be like same kind of a pole top that the Valos brought their kids, that Chris Watts brought their kids. But this goes down. This is a light. And there's a ladder. And there's water. The photo that you see up to the left-hand side comes from Summer Moon Wells' vigil. The way that those people are lined up truly represents what's going on underneath the ground, in a hole like you see to the right. These photos, you guys, come from a live video. It's not that I'm taking photos off a website. When I take these photos and I zoom in, like I said in my other live, to the darkest corners, the small little pieces that they don't want you zooming into, show the elements that are waiting beneath them in the ground, and those are the boxes. Those are boxes. And this situation is what they're showing. The children have particularly special shoes on, right? Some of them are barefoot. But I gave you guys a reading a while back. I said my feet felt bound together, like tied together. I do see and feel as if these children's ankles are put together by metal. And I think they have to walk together as a group. Now, I can't brighten a lot of these up too much because you will lose the information. But you guys have seen the toes like this before. I've showed you this in Summer Moon. She has a toe like that. These children are walking their death zone. They're walking on a pole. Their ankles are together by metal. You guys, it's really bad. I see it. I see the chain, the metal. It's cold, and it hurts. And when I tell you how hard it is for me to repeat these words, it's not that it comes out, I sound like it comes out super easy, but I have to prepare myself to do these things, you know. These aren't easy to show because these are real. And the videos are real. And what's happening here goes back decades. You guys, decades. When you get a closer look, you see, you know, if you ever just want to take snapshots and just open them up on your computer, you'll get a closer look. There's a box. There's the metal box right up here. And this I can't brighten up because it will ruin it. Oh, here's metal. Here you go. Here's metal around their foot. I'm sweating. I'm already sweating. Ugh. And these children go down into the water, and the way that they communicate to those who want to watch it, because it's on the deep dark web, those spell letters. There's no reason the authorities couldn't look at this and read it. Just read it. Read the word. You put it together. Use the equipment that you have that I don't have, and see what it says. Does it say summer? Like, does it say Michael? Does it say any one of the kids that are gone? Does it give initials? The top left photo is someone with the mask on their face. So the first, it's like I said, the first thing, actually the main purpose of this presentation is to show you how that creator is creating stuff currently, and then all the way back to Robert Vaughn. It matches, you guys. The story matches as to how this is being placed. Dante, I can't tell. I cannot tell. So the way that Robert Vaughn has drawn it out within this cage-like situation is telling you everyone's story, you guys. It's telling you the stories all the way back to John Wayne Gacy. It's telling you the Amber Alert story. It's telling you the story of the BTK killer. If you look very closely to the drawings that he made, they're the exact drawings that we have today that I have been pointing out. I call them critters. These are critters. The little stick people is telling you the story of where these critters are placed within the earth. They're telling the story because there are people who go visit these things. They visit it. Arbania Pepion told us. All the way in here. This is what you see over here. That is what you see in the BTK killer. And they don't change. This is a blueprint. This is a blueprint of what's happening. The drawings are the same. The sticks don't change. The critters don't change. The V doesn't change. The snake face doesn't change. There's certain elements that stay the same, if not all of them. That stick is the stick that I've been showing with every case that I follow. That white stick with the maroon head on it, right here. Same stick. Here's a critter's face. It's like an animal face. So much stuff comes through, but it stays consistent. What's on the other side is the physical location. Okay? So Robert Vaughn drew this all up to make a plan. That is a plan. This here is what's happening to implement the plan underground. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. Let me turn it the right way. Right. V. There are pressure cookers, by the way. Where's my V? Oh, I see the 5, so I got to make sure the 5 is turned the correct way, and then I do it. Oh, look at that. Okay. So the 5, I think, is like a... You need the 5 to be turned the right way for some reason, and then it's all turned correctly. So to the right, I have the 5 turned the right way. It's right in the middle. See? So whatever they're showing there is here. So there's the head in the corner. See the head in the corner? It's right in front of us. It's in the L. It's right here. This is what's happening underground. So this is the head in the corner. And you have your V and you have your 5. There's another one. There's another critter sticking out. So it's never changed. And they really do show incredible photos, insane photos of what's happening underground, in the water, in the tunnel, under the bridges, under the railroad tracks. What I see in my third eye, when I, for those who don't know, when I do this, I get visions, right? And what I see is them walking on the side of a railroad track that doesn't work anymore. No, it's not in service. So in order to get here, it's hot. It's hot. I don't feel like it's the U.S. They're walking along a railroad track that was there years ago. Old. The tracks are still there, but it's not in service. And those tracks lead them to one of these tunnels. I feel like this is one of the older tunnels. But the railroad tracks lead them. And I think that the railroad tracks lead them in many different locations. So I'm told that it's many locations, the old railroad tracks, not the ones that are new. Older railroad tracks lead them to these locations. See the little girls with her little house? See, she's with her little box. You see that? She's with her little box. Her little box is next to her. This little box is next to her. That's her box. That's her maroon box. It's got a blue top. Yeah, you know what? It's that I never had that vision before, to be honest. I never saw the vision where there's tracks and they're wood tracks, actually. They're wood. And you almost can't see them. They're almost gone. You guys, that's how to get to it. That's all I'm being told. They're short. They're like 24 inches long. They're like 2 feet long. And if you follow the tracks, all I know is it's hot there because whatever this is, I see dead grass, like yellow burnt grass. And it leads to these things. I don't know if it's even in the U.S., but this is what's going on underground, and these kids are in the equipment. That's an actual man's face. And this is I've shown this before, but what you're looking at is what it looks like when the adults with the masks on their heads are swimming with the children. One day I'm going to be able to afford to go in one of those vans and literally go see these places, because they're there. They're there. This is a child being held up by an adult in the water. This is just like what you saw SUMMERWELLS swimming hole. Remember how we saw her swimming? And I showed you how there are two heads. There's adult and a child. Well, that's what's here right now. And all of the little stuff. Whoops. Did I just... There we go. What the heck? There we go. See, this is what's happening under the water. So when I told you guys that, you know, they have these black ski masks on like divers, that's what they're doing. That's what they have on. And that is, the bottom right is a victim, and the adults have the ski masks on. So I'm showing you these things before I show you the elements. I was just going to go to the elements. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go to the elements. And then I was like, No. My audience is growing, and it's very important to educate you guys that the elements are coming off of the real shit. This. And the little critters and information are the smallest little bits that are here. They're little teeny 5s or little teeny A's. They look like metal pieces that are like over here. But this is the big story. These are the big pieces that I told you earlier. This is big pieces. This is I have this in video of this person in here. And in the video is this person being victimized in the water. This is what the children look like. They have that thing over their face. Their head is on the A, it's on the corner. There is no difference between what their head is on here than what Robert Vaughn created way back for this situation. There is the A is in here. For this situation, you see how you get bigger, smaller and smaller. You see how that pressure cooker has a 5 on it in the smaller window. You see how this is all the same. And as you go smaller and smaller, you see the little critters they put in there. Well, we're not talking about those. I'm showing you this. This A is a staple element. This is the top element that they show in the pictures that Tim Mullen shows years back in the barn. Tim Mullen showed this picture in a picture frame. This is how far back it goes. He shows it in the same video in which he's so proud and pleased to be holding the A as well. This is what it is. And look in the water, see how the elements are there? See how the machine is in there? It's machines like I just showed you. Nothing changes. These are all the same thing. This and what you see in this photo is the same. Let me crop it. Oh, when I go higher up, it was cropped. Look at. So she has, look what she has on her head. That's a victim, you guys. It's a unicorn. How is this allowed? That's what blows my mind. This is the same situation as Summer. They're against a sky that shows blackness. It's not a sky, it shows blackness. And it shows the way they want the stars aligned. It shows the same thing over and over and over and over. Every time. This is how Summer Moon's last photos were. This is what Summer Moon's photos looked like. And they just keep showing up images upon images. And you could go so deep into these photos. There's nothing about this that is complicated. And then here comes all the little images that they use throughout the current videos. These little teeny things, these things, whatever shows up in the background are called the critters, I call them. That's the name I gave them. Critters. See what's in that guy's back there? Let me show you. These are critters. So I know that they're there. I'm just staying focused on the big photos that the authorities could do something with it. Like they're not going to be able to be like, go after critters, but this stuff here is what Summer Moon Wells' stories tell. We've seen this smiley face, and this is important because it is part of Summer's story that the kids know. That green smiley face, and what's going on here is the story that they know from. That's the green smiley face. So it all shows up in here, you guys. So I know some of you who've been with me for a long time, you're probably seeing the small little stories, right? It just backs up what I'm about to show you in the current videos. Because the current videos I'm showing you have all this. These little things in the basket. That's why I'm showing you the big things. These are big things. These are super real faces. These are real. These are in the situation. This is the woman that I follow. This is all of her videos. So it's not like it's complicated, for the law enforcement to go figure out. This is what they do to the fingers. You guys, that is the finger cutter thing. So when you see the elements right in front of you, I'm not sure why it wouldn't be addressed. Especially since it matches my last 2+ years of giving this information. That's the finger cutter. Look, you've seen these. That is not just her hand. And in the video, it's moving footage, you see. This is moving footage. This woman actually looks like this in the video. Look at what's around her neck. Look at her eye. This person is clearly a victim. This is the sacrifice part that I've been talking about. This woman's neck is the neck of a victim. Everything that I show you in today's YouTube creators shows the story over and over and over. Do you understand that the boat that I show you here is the boat that I'm going to show you that's under here, their V is just like that. That's what they are. That's what you see here. They're the same. So when I see YouTube creators, current creators, putting shit out there in their videos, if they know it or not, match the story that goes back decades, I'm gonna call it out. These are boats. And those are people. These kids are being brought down, and I believe that they are all, there are groups of them that are connected. I think they could find it if they follow the tracks, old tracks. You've seen Summer Moon Wells look like this with all of those bony things on her back. This is from up top. This view is from all the way up top, looking down. When there is some sort of explosion, I feel the explosion is an implosion, like you can't hear it. Like if I were to try, like spiritually, I can't hear it. It's a very gentle movement, like it's a very soft, like that, like it's not very loud movement. See, this is a sacrifice, and this part is done in the water like this. What you see on the bottom, you guys, is the chipmunk. This is how Summer Moon winds up. And this is what happens to all of the people that get touched by this situation. That's the chipmunk face. Yeah, it's like a very unannounced thing that happens. Summer moon can be found within a place like this. You see, if you look here, this is how she winds up in this, in here. Like, see how that is representative of all those white bones? And then you see a head. This is what it looks like to the people that are creating this. This is what it looks like. There's always a V, there's an L. This here is what you always see. Here's an L. Here's the same kind of bones that Summer Moon Wells is, and here's the head. That head kind of looks like this chipmunk. Whoops. That chipmunk. The little girl's face, I don't know. I can't, I don't know. I feel like this is, that this little girl isn't alive. It's like a doll. But I want you to notice how she has those pointy things on her, just like Madeline McCain, just like Summer. This is what I'm talking about right here. The pointy things. Those are the pointy things that are... Madeline McCain had it on her. Like, so loud and clear. It shows up. And there it is again. It's a staple. It's a staple. Those little prongy things, they're a staple. Looking to see if it's... Hold on. No. These little photos and these boxes and so forth. This photo here represents what's going on in the SUMMERWELLS case. This here came from videos that I believe are Jeffrey Dahmer's videos. There's videos that I have that no one's claimed them yet, and they're so horrific. It looks like concentration camps. I just don't understand it. For all I know, it's Epstein videos, but it's somebody's videos that they should have been pulled by now. But this is what the videos show, this information. This here is the process of which I tell you they make cement, and these things go in the cement. So as I proceed with this presentation, for those, when I mention cement, understand that this cement information, it goes all the way back to Don Wells with his cement business. It was super obvious. And this here is them in action. This is in action. This is them in action doing what is done with these pieces. They're using cement. These are super real live photos that come out, that come from videos. These come from videos, you guys. These are heads on platters. Right here. And I don't know, maybe I have 50 videos. And it all comes from the same family that I'm following. You see, it's the same family. That's what they're dumping in there. Now, there's certain things I bring up because I'm showing you information soon, currently, of what they're doing. Those are the little pieces. Those to me are the little nuggets. Those are created. Those are made. Those are cement. They're in the cement. Those are being mixed in there, you guys. It's part of the process. That's why they always have those red jug things This is what it is. That's what it is. That every victim has these buckets. Summer Moon Wells had the buckets. They showed them all the time, and her buckets were numbered. I showed it way in the beginning. Those buckets were numbered with little skews. Those buckets are part of the process. They could be found in every situation. Every situation. Oops, my dog. So funny. The dog is so only wants to sit under my pillow. So when I'm on live, he goes under the pillow. You know, these are two photos from Zanime. No one, once in a while I like to throw this in here, right? Whatever's going on here, this is the back of the frat house. At least that's how they show it. It's not the back of the frat house. They're showing underground, you guys. They're showing underground. This is underground. Zanime is showing a party with elements. These guys are naked, and these are boxes. So I'm not sure how they got away with this stuff. And no one mentioned anything about Zanime's information. Zanime's TikToks, the ones that were taken down quicker than others, showed what was happening. And this isn't just, this comes from moving video. Look in the window. Look on top of that box of the smiley face. Somebody is saying, fuck you. They're saying, ha ha, I got away with it. That's what they're saying. Here's the boxes. Box. And these are the heads. The smiley face and one eyeball. I think that these kids have no clothes on. And Zanime, I don't know what she's wearing. But the back of her, these are elements. All of them. So I'm never going to stop showing the Idaho 4 as much as I show Summer Moon Wells, because whatever happened here is what happened to Summer. And this here is showing that they went underground. They went in a tunnel. And I said that I believe that there's an entranceway between this house and the one on King Road. So as I show the elements, this goes back to the videos that I believe are Jeffrey Dahmer's. It actually has a cake that says Jeffrey on it. And I'm showing you how these elements match what I show every day that I come on live. The stick that goes across this video is nothing more than the stick that you guys find in the frames of the wood. You find them. Here, I'll show you. That's the frame. That's the stick. That stick has doggy on it and all that shit. The one to the right is from Amber Alert. That's from Amber Hagerman. These sticks have always been a part of these guys' story. KIELYRODNI, her stick was so, oh my God, Harmony Montgomery's was right on the tree with her mom. The sticks here. See this? This was in Don B's car. Those are the buckets. I showed them the other day. Those are the buckets. It says KIELYRODNI. These sticks, every victim has a stick. Every victim. There's no way getting around it. They're just the white sticks that show up, and that's what they look like. KIELYRODNI's was here. See, hers is smiling. That's Kylie's stick. That's Kylie's stick. There's no difference between her stick and what I'm going to call Jeffrey Dahmer's videos. You see? They're the same. This here is her stick. Kylie is in that graffiti photo. This is her stick. This is a stick. See these? But this is the one that you see over here. It's never changed, you guys. Never changed. What you see here are elements that go way back in these videos. These are the elements that are shown in my videos today. I just put the one up on the right hand side because that pattern really bothered me. I just put that in there. Those number 5s and the information that you see to the right is when I say, oh, that is the number 5 element with that little box to the left. This is the same information because that goes against the face. That thing that you see to the left hand side it goes against her face. And that's what it's doing on the right hand side. Let me show you. Let me bring it closer. This here. Ryan Upchurch's mom really showed incredible information. So, this here. Is what you see in the right hand side. From years and years and years ago. Same with this. That's the man that's in these videos. And the tattoo thing that's on his arm is the same kind of a thing that you see now, shaped like an L. But it's got that V or the 5 on the bottom. It's the same thing that you see in BTK Killer's drawings. Let me get closer to it. This here so let me open this up. So this is the same thing that you see in the videos that I'm showing you. And this is the same thing that hangs from these drawings. It's the same thing. These are elements that repeat over and over. And to the left is the number 5 box. I believe that these were toys. These were old-fashioned toys that were created. And these toys now became electronics. And they hurt. They hurt. Same videos. And by the way, the videos, these old-fashioned videos that were connected to the Beckman family, that's how I found them, is the child sitting there with their face covered, completely covered, and she has a V on her arm. Now, if you could tell me any other reason other than a sacrifice that matches what I'm doing here, that a child would look that way, awesome. Tell me. Because this photo is something that we see all the time. All the time. Wait, I cut the V out. That is no different, you guys, than what I'm showing you to the left. And this guy disappeared. Let me tell you, he came on talking about summer. And his videos were very disturbing. This video that he has with that girl in the front is doing the same thing as what we see to the right. That guy, I reported as I move into the present information, why, you know, I said I wanted to show you what that girl has. I think it's really important that you guys hear what I have to say about Molly. I don't know her. I know that she taught me a lot about myself. Whoever she is, if she's 3, 4, 5, 10 different people, if she really never existed and she's a robot, I don't know. But the Molly that I know of, that I met on June 16th of 2021, has helped me learn about myself and has given me many gifts for me to be able to express my intuition and my clairvoyance. There are certain people, and that goes for Benny too, like there's certain people that I don't know who they are, right? But because of them and their presence on YouTube, it gave me the opportunity to understand the feelings that I feel. And why do I feel those feelings? And where's it coming from? And why do I see the photos that go along with these photos? Whoever Molly was, and whoever she originated into, or whatever happened to her in between then and now, something happened so horrible and so sad. So sad to someone. That whenever I see a photo of her, I get so sad inside. And I feel like this person was all alone. I feel like this person had nobody to talk to or reach out to. So I know a lot of people speak weird about her. I don't, other than she really gave me these gifts of understanding how powerful the human emotions are. And if you really zoom into how you feel and put your own pre-thoughts to the side, like what you think you're supposed to think of her, and you look at this and understand that something is very painful here, and this person is very lonely, and this person went through something horrific. And this is called sacrifice. These are the sacrifices that are taking place. Right here, what you're looking at. And we'll never know, because this person has to stay within themselves. They cannot reach out to anybody. And this person isn't the Molly that you think you know. But I believe that her photos and her footage in the last few months that she was on YouTube as Molly Golightly was so powerful. So powerful. And it can't, just try not to put it to the side because you have a predetermined feeling towards her. Something happened that means so much to the Summer Moon Wells missing children's case. Whatever happened to her is what I'm showing you within this lady's videos. This is the lady's videos that I got this video footage a few days ago. This is what I did my intro to. I said, is that summer? Whoever is to the left is what's happening to the right. Bernadette, what's happening is we're getting people watching that aren't subscribers. So I'd love if you haven't subscribed, whoever's watching, to subscribe. It really helps my channel. That's yeah, and thumbs up. This is an eyeball. Wait, cancel. This here, in this live video that I have, this is the eyeball. This is the machine. This is the eyeball. This is the machine. This was just this week. This is the lady's video that I got this information from. It goes all the way back. Goes all the way back. What you see here goes all the way back to this. This guy also shows what's under This is built under the ground. You could see this is under, between the planks of under the ground, under a house, under somewhere. Here, this sits. See this? This is a hand. This is a cutter. This is underground. Everything you see here originates from the beginning. This cutter and this piece of equipment has been here since the day it was created for whatever purpose they're using it for. This is what Robert Vaughn shows. This and this are showing the same thing. They're showing the same situation. This here and this here that showed in Ryan Upchurch's, this is the same thing. See this little smiley face? This is all showing the same information, but just using different deep fakes. But when you know your elements, you could stick to the elements. Yeah, that red-headed guy's everywhere. He was at the first vigil. This guy was at the first vigil with the same shirt. Same shirt on. Summer Moon Wells. I've never seen this picture. Now it's getting really weird looking. This picture showed up in the corner of some photo. Has anyone ever seen this one? The picture we show, this is the staple picture, the first picture that came out of summer. Every time I show it, it shows differently. No photos should show differently. Here's her bucket back there. No. This is a strange picture. What you see here again, I believe, is summer. This here with this little head is a trophy. This is the machinery. It shows super clearly, you guys. And it's not going anywhere because it just sits there. No one is jumping on any of that. That's her. Allegedly. Right? Allegedly. What's the difference between what's laying in her here? Here, let me crop this. This, what's laying in her here, is no different than what we find under the water. Because that's what goes in the water and out of the water. These are the same things. They're trophies. These are trophies. Here's that guy again. Thou shall something. His photos and his videos consistently are changing. And this particular photo I grabbed because it's really coming very close to what I'm seeing to the left. Let me crop this. Wait. Open this up. Let me show you what this whole photo looks like. This whole photo of his looks like this. That's his whole photo. So I'm showing you a photo that has so many elements in it, and no one has questioned his videos. So the first element is this one. Is this one. It's right there. That is what you see right in that photo. Wait, let me turn it a little. Here, then when I turn it a little, you'll be able to see it better. Blonde hair on it. Same thing. The other element that you see here in his photo is crop it in. So, I mean, I'm asking, like, I've asked him before, you know, like, why is this shit in your videos? Is this. So, you see your critters, but most importantly, you see this in the V, right? What's the difference? What's the difference with that head in a V and see, find one up here. Here. And this head in a V. It's in a V. There isn't. And the picture to the left, you guys, is from the Idaho 4. The Idaho 4. Not sure again why these photos aren't getting any recognition. Let me crop it in. I'm going to change the coloring on this a little so you could see the face. This is what's in the Idaho 4, the one who's speaking. Look. That's what's in there. That is that. That's a face wrapped in the Idaho 4 video. Hello? And look what's attached to its face. The box. The box. This box. It's always been this box. The other person who really matches it is this lady's photo. I mean, really stuck on that. I'm really stuck on that. It's, to me, it shows a ton of information. This is the 5, goes this way. Yeah, it's very intense, right? Like, I feel like that's so intense because I feel like this is a very close match. Molly Golightly, as she's getting allegedly whatever done to her, she has a lot of little symbols on her, and her symbols match locations that pop up on the maps. So it leads me to a story that I usually have, that whatever they're doing to this person, there's a pre-plan for that person. There's a plan for her. Just like there was for Michael Vaughn. What you see here going on with Michael Vaughn and his eye connected to that thing is the same thing that you see going on to the left. It's the same story, you guys. It's the same story. I don't know how nobody talks about the photo that Michael Vaughn looks this way with his eyeball this way. It just doesn't make any sense to me. This is him. It's really being ignored, you guys. The children are not being thought about. The girl in the middle, I got that from, it's in her glasses. She's the one who used to follow Molly Golightly. I don't know anything about her. But these little pieces and the one all the way to the right are the pieces that are found in Molly Golightly's videos when she's with Bullhorn Betty. But these are little pieces that are inside Robert Vaughn's footage. Like what happens, what he shows is what's happening today, right? With this eye and this round thing. I have shown you photos of Candace and Molly and Summer with this around their eye. That's an eye, the circle. This is a process. There's the stick. This is a process. There's the critters. Here is a photo from years ago from Robert Vaughn's images. Okay, this is what he shows this section of the machine looks like. This is where these machines go, right? Or whatever is up here. This is what this guy shows. This is when I show this. This represents the same thing, same location, same information. So these things are still being placed in the same situation. This is no different than what you see here. It's no different than when you see these little rooms, these little doorways. Little doorways. No different. To the left is what was shown in this lady's video that I keep popping in. It's actually not a very good photo, but what it does is it matches the red face with the white lips that show up in Ryan Upchurch's video. It's a person's face with these white lips. And to the left and to the right are the finger cutters. In this lady's video, this is the man that's in there. The man that's in here represents the SUMMERWELLS missing children. The information that he has on his face, on his hat, shows me that this person is going through the same situation as Summer. That's what he looks like. Now, you're looking at someone who has been touched by this thing, which goes back years. This thing. This is in her video. The symbol on his hat, which is an A, looks just like the A here, to the left, and to the one in the middle. If any of you don't know which A I'm talking about, oops, let me show you. It's the one all the way to the right. Right here. That A is the same shape as that one. It's like a 3D image. I'm bringing these critters in just to give Madeline McCain, the person who came forward, anyone who followed it, that claimed to be Maddie McCain. I said that something went really wrong with her, that there was someone who came forth and then they replaced that girl with a different girl. Something happened. And every time I go back to the original photos of this Maddie, I get just as sad looking at her as I do Molly Golightly. I get just as sad. Like, these are critters that show up. And the number 5 shows up right here on the bottom. And I have a whole file on her, but these critters are talking to people who know the story. They put this stuff out there so they could speak to others that know what this is. This little girl is what she looked like the first time she appeared. You guys, this person really needed help. And they snatched her up. I truly believe that there's one of these little girls got loose and found a way to get on the internet. And she was real. And then they just replaced her with whoever played the role. But this was the girl who came first, you guys. Compare this to the pictures that you've seen from before. This person who appeared is a Summer Moon Wells missing child. This person who showed up went through the same horror. She went through the same stuff that I'm showing you with the eyeball and everything. And they just let it go. She was a Summer Moon Wells missing child. I'm telling you that through what I see. And she really cried hard. That was her crying, and they were trying to stop her from talking and crying. Look at her head. Her head is around it's being held. See the side of her head? Right here? This little child needed rescuing. I'm telling you. Right here. It ends. Her head is being held. Something in her eye. This is extremely fucking sad, is what it is. She showed all of the correct information. This is what happened to her. What happened to her is what happens to every freaking victim. Every victim. Every victim shows the same elements that have been touched by these people. And this one was a real shitty one. And she was touched by this evil. She represents what Robert Vaughn shows as one of his very last photos. It's a little house with sawdust, a pig with one eye, a house, little teeny house with a 5, and it's sitting on a piece of wood. This is exactly what they have these victims represent. And it goes right back to the beginning. There's a cross on there. Yes. Right here. I'll try to blow it up. me change the, let me see if I could sharpen it a little. Oh, yeah, I sharpened it a little. There's a cross on the house, which is significant. Here's the house. This is the house of importance. These are the homes that they call home, and they each have one. And they go with the family to these homes. They each have one, you guys. And what you see in the smaller window is the pig. Right here. And this one has the 5 in the front door. It's pretty sick. As this video goes on, it shows you the process that these victims go through. As you could see, that thing goes straight through the eye, and there's a victim all the way to the back. They're connected. This is the story of Summer Moon Wells. This is the story of whoever this girl was that showed up, and she was shut up really fast. This is the story of Summer Moon. These are all of the little things I show you in current videos. See how she's the pig. And then there's someone back there, wrapped. The creator that I'm getting these videos from, I shouldn't say that, I really have other videos too. One of the new creators is the one to the left. I don't know whose face it is, but Scott shows a lot of interesting photos that match that creator. His drawings are quite interesting to me. That's how he has Brian Laundrie with his teeth looking like that. Here's the drawing from Robert Vaughn. Notice all the weird shit that's in here, right? But what you have to really look at are the things that you know are common elements that I talk about. This, here's someone's head. Here's the drawing on the eye. All of this that's coming up. Here's the pin of 5. Like, there's a lot of things that come through each photo. This to the left is a drawing from this lady's YouTube channel that I can't show the bare bottom butt. But she's got this thing going on in this whole picture just like this guy, Robert Vaughn, with the 5 and... Let me blow it up, 56. Let me show you. All of these kind of videos that have maps and locations, are using the same markers as Robert Vaughn. They're the same drawings. They become people. They become the story. The story is within her videos. Just like the girl behind Amber Alert, Amber. I showed this before and I'm showing it again. Her childish drawings tell her story. She went up the ladder that I showed you and she jumped. And there are other kids trying to get up the ladder. She's not alone. She's with others. This is Robert's. You go up the ladder. Here. You go up the ladder. This is a person laying here. And you drop. There's a dog. This is the whole thing. He created it. The drawing to the left is from the BTK killer. Make sense of that. It's the same information that we're seeing in this lady's YouTube photo. Same information. They're all speaking the same language. This is not difficult. This is John Wayne Gacy's. Now, what I noticed today, and I don't think anyone has noticed, this file comes straight from John Wayne Gacy's file. There are words under there, and that's not from me. This is their file. There are words imprinted in this image. So that's something that needs to be reported, because I don't know. You guys see those words? This is John Wayne Gacy's drawing of his murders and where they were. There's a very similar pattern. But what I noticed today was the lettering underneath. But much of his information here matches what I follow, the V's and so forth, and the corners. But there's letters under there. Again, to the left was made way back by that man called Robert Vaughn. What you're looking at is the same thing that we are looking at within current creators' videos. This here is the buggy. Wait, let me crop it in. I contrasted it a little. It's a little weird looking, but you at least could see the 5. This is the buggy that's inside the one to the right with the number 5 on it. That's the buggy. That's the buggy that is in every case. I mean, we don't have a case that matches if this isn't there. And that's right here. It's showing, it's the placement of these. This is what's being placed, these little boxes. And if they could figure out how to read these things, they will figure out how to solve it. See these? These are little teeny buggies. 62. I don't know what the right one's going to show, but that came from Tim Mullen, and I just put it out there because I don't know what it's going to do. That's from Tim Mullen. All right, so here's the teeniest little buggy. And there's a little pin. So imagine how small these are, because there's the pin. That's what gets placed within the earth. That. And that's what they did with Summer Moon. I don't know what's to the right. Oh, I see it. It's summer. Oh, interesting. This matches Don Wells. I have it in here. Let me show you something. This is Tim Mullen's, and he matches Don's. Let me brighten this up. This is Tim Mullen. And I have in here I know I put it in here. Oh my God, I did. It's the very last page. This is Don's video of him doing construction. And I've shown this before. I'm like, that's the doodle of summer. I turned it. Look at, he's showing summer. I think that's what Tim Mullen is doing also. Like, this is Don's. See the snake head? Let me show you. So this is summer behind these bars, and I think this is summer behind the bars. I think it's telling the same story. Look. Right? And here's the squirrel. Here's the squirrel. Here's the baby or something. I told you I had to like spend time with this. Very interesting that these match, and I put it next to, I put Don's next to the snake that this lady had in her video. Because I see a snake. But here, there's a person back there in a box. In Don's. Yeah, the dogs always do that, right? Here's a person in a box. See, if you could read these, which I do, this is how you find summer. This is how, because this is done system by system, right? So if I brighten this up a little bit, so you have to play on the coloring. Don Wells and Tim Mullen are telling the same story. See, the one to the left is Don's. The only thing I did was turn it. I turned it, that's all. So, way back, Jody Sue Brown, video 5, May 7th, 2021. Jody Sue Brown did all these videos before and right before Summer went missing. And she showed these maps with these colorful nails. I think that these are answers. I see answers in these maps. I see words being talked about. And I believe that this is Hawkins County and this is their property. I think what she was talking about was the property lines. And while she's talking about the property lines, this is what she's pointing out. As you get closer in, you see that's what she's doing. Whatever she was showing here is critical in finding Summer Moonwell's pieces. That's my gut feeling. That's what I see when I look at this. I see answers. And I see that she knows more than she says she does. There are locations on here marked with incredible elements that I know are elements of Summer Moon. So if I were to flip this around, you'll see the number 5 I'm talking about. You smell the cigarette. Yeah, it's Jody Sue Brown. See? If I were the law enforcement, I would find out where that V is and where the A and the 5 are. So right here, is an A, and this is a 5. This is the V in the property. This to me would be Summer. Right where everything, it's like where everything meets. It's somewhere where it's a V, and it meets here. See? This is where I would go. I would follow that. So let me show you, let me see if I could change the color a little. This here, wait, I'm going to open it up a little so you guys could see it. You see where things meet? You know how I said these things are placed at the tips where things meet? Right here is a little square. There's a V. I think that there's a piece of summer here, and I could bet on it. I could bet on it. I think that that is a very spiritual spot. It's somewhere on the property. But that's where they all come together. And that is marked out, like she has it marked. It says, I can't read it. There are a couple different 5s actually under her hand. There's a few. If you look, see how this is a triangle? There are a few different ones. So these things are important to look at. I believe that this is an answer. And things look like this. This is what people draw out. You can't dismiss these drawings. The drawings really give an L88L. Yeah, maybe. So this lady shows this in her video. I sent this into the TBI, by the way. And this is the shirt that is shown with other elements as well. The green thing that's shown, I always hold on to that green thing from Summer that Candace holds and Summer has. But more importantly, the shirt resembles to me Robert Vaughn's shirt. The heck? Robert Vaughn's shirt. Oh, and this is Don Wells' shirt. But I just happen to be showing what's around their faces. That's a little girl who has the same thing on her face as Don Wells. But look at the shirt. Where are my other photos of the shirt? The heck? Wait. I don't know where it went. These shirts to me are the same. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know where the other photo went. But Don Wells' shirt that he's wearing the day that he went to the hospital, that's Don Wells' shirt, and this is hers, is to me the same shirt. I mean, to me, it's the same shirt. There's all the critters in hers. See the corner? To me, it's the same shirt. This equipment here that she shows in her house, to me, is the equipment that started in the beginning with Robert Vaughn. she shows this bit in her house. You guys have seen this over and over and over and over. I showed it even in this presentation a few times. Benny likes to make it look like a microphone. It's not a microphone. It's not a microphone. This is her house. What I see, and again, it's not about her. This is about the elements that are shown to me, and it tells me the story of Candace and Don's home. This actually tells me about the Wells house, more so, because this is what they made it look like. But it tells the story of how these children are behind the doors. There's ways to get to them behind the junk. It's behind the junk. This is systematically placed like this. What you see behind this couple, I think this is Xaname's parents, I don't know. But it's very interesting how they show the equipment behind them, as if they're sitting in the room with the equipment. I don't understand how this could possibly be. And then they try to say that there's a policeman there, and it's kind of, I didn't cut it off like that. I have no idea who did that. The photo to the left is what the equipment looks like. The photo to the right is what it looks like if you turn it to the left, behind the parents' heads. It's the equipment that they are showing. It is put in the video very clearly. This is the equipment that is used. This is the equipment that I showed you guys in the food truck. This is what it is. I'm not quite sure. Yes. Oh, Kaylee's parents. It's Kaylee's parents. This shit, their photos and videos show a lot of stuff. That is Summer Moon with that thing going through her head, just like what it's trying to tell you on the right-hand side. Summer's 5 is a little smaller. Let me show you. But it goes into the eyeball. Same equipment, you guys. What it always shows in these trucks and stuff. See that picture? I just had that picture somewhere. I wanted to show it. I just saw it. Wait a second. So funny, when my brain says pull the photo, I should always pull the photo. Let me see if it's in here. I've really shown a lot of stuff this week. A lot of elements. And a lot of elements that are being backed up by really good information. As I'm looking back through something. Well, this, I have a lot of other photos of this element. So there's the number 5 with the A in the drawing, right? Let me show you right here. That's what I just showed you in Jody Sue's, right? Exactly. Let me grab it. There's a 5 and an A. It's right here. 5 and then the A is right here. And the 5 and the A is here. What you see to the right is that guy that I found at the carnival. He shows this stuff throughout his videos. Now, when I look at it, I know what I'm looking at. I showed this the other day, but these are parts of information that could really set the stage to finding these things. Because I think that these are real locations. I believe that they're locations that could be found. This is Jody Sue's little critter. Here's the machine, here's the critter, here's the 5. Same thing going on over here. All of those little faces and all those little critters, what I've been showing you is they go back to day 1. They're not new. They've always been there. So because I've seen them in so many different videos, I'm able to grab them. Gabby Petito. This is what Gabby Petito looked like in the car. Andrew Hilt. All of these little markings and all of these little drawings should have broke the case. Should have told them something bigger is going on here. There's something bigger. There's something way bigger. Right in front of us. These markings are very important. These markings were all over Gabby Petito. All over. I mean, and look at Andrew Hilt. So, the information that I show from any creator always has these little drawing critters. I'm not quite sure how this isn't part of solving the case on the level of the law enforcement. This is what Scott has in his drawings. He has nothing more than showing Summer Moon. He, to me, shows summer moon and what happened. The drawing to your right is from the lady that I got most of my photos from. Drawing to the left is from Scott. If you know to look for these little monster heads and they're stuck in these little tubes, it's a 5. These are tubes. 1, 2. They're layered tubes. That's what's going on over here. Here's the monster head. Because they're just retelling the story like children. This is that lady's drawings. This is Scott. They both show exactly what is needed to show when it is a sacrifice. They both show it. These are the things that really should be questioned by the authorities. There isn't one victim that I talk about that doesn't have this bloody 5 on them. And then all the photos to the left, open it up a little, also have the flying little critters just flying across. There's the 5s. See, it tells a story, you guys. In every little drawing, see the V? The flying V. So what I do is I like to show you guys things that are, or that could be a K, that stay consistent. You could look at this all day and see all these different things, but the point is they all do the same crock of shit. Drawing to the left is from that lady, I believe, and the drawing to the right is from Scott. Now I know that says Summers, summer with a 5. Now it says summer with a 5. I don't know who that other person's name is. This summer, try to sharpen it. Oh, here we go. This is way better. This one has a 5 next to it. I'd question that. And then the one to the left is just a whole big drawing. Summer 5 story? I don't know. But this is what it shows. The pictures on the outer, the left and the right, come from this lady. I'm not going to show you the real naked people, but what I'm showing you is that what you see in the middle comes from the day at the hospital with the balloons to go see Candace. They're telling the story of the SUMMERWELLS missing children. If you look closely to this photo, these photos have such small images hidden in here, but when you look at them and really review them, they're all the same. Right? What just happened here? Okay, bright. Contrast. I didn't do a very good job. It turned yellow. But here. This here matches the story being told in Candace's photo from the hospital. This, it's always, telling the same story, because all of these stories wind up with them in a buggy. And they're being taken away by these V strings. That's what this is. This is that. That's what it's telling you. And unfortunately for me, every time I see these things, I see the story. This is from the BTK killer. You just change the lighting and this is what you got. They put their story so tightly within their drawings, but they're telling the story. This BTK killer is telling you the story. He killed dogs. Not just humans, dogs. The stories are within the drawings, and each drawing tells a detailed story. This is the BTK killers, one of them. They have the same elements. They have the little thing connected to the top of the head, right here. A person with the puppy. There's someone else. And here's the little 5 that dangles. But each story is being told. It's being told. Here's these. It's always E, the A, the 5. It's in there, you guys. Picture to the left to me is the closest we're going to get to inside that room. Whatever's in that room, they're telling, BTK's telling the story. That's the room. This is that Stein guy's video. I want to show you what's happening. His video does tell a lot of information, and I just don't want it to be forgotten. It needs to go back to it. This is really what goes on, but as you could tell, it's a drawing. I believe that this is showing sacrifice to the left from that guy's videos, and I believe it matches what's going on to the right. He's telling the story of these children. I feel like there's a lot going on in his video that needs to be addressed by the authorities. I haven't heard from him. I don't know if he's sent it in, but to the left is Robert Vaughn from years and years ago showing those little pieces. These are the little pieces and storyboards that were built way back then, and now you see them. Now you see them. They're not new. This snake, this situation here. Now, if anyone remembers when I once channeled and I realized why the snake was like, I was crazed for the snake. When Summer Moonwells, I said, asked Summer, I said, what do you see? This was alive. I'm like, what do you see? And it was a smiling snake. When she looked up, she saw a smiling snake. A snake was smiling at her. So usually when words come through a reading, no matter when they come through, they mean something. And I believe that this is a very telling photo of her tree. And the little markings that you see here are the same kind of markings that we see in the BTK photos. They look childish, but they look like this. Again, this is Don's. Don Wells knows more than he says he knows. That's Summer's drawing. I want you guys to really look at the picture of the Idaho 4. Those two pictures put together, I didn't do that. What that is those are two pictures in the smaller screen. So it's separated by that line because I got that, I think it was a smaller screen, maybe not. But they go together. This photo blends together in a way that gives hints. Look at how that top line, the purple line, bleeds into the wood on the left. That should not happen if they were two separate photos. I've always said that these photos are taken, they're like between, there's like an up, there's three levels, up, middle, down. What you're looking at here is how they took this photo. That photo is surrounded by these boxes. Do you see that up top? It says SU something local something. This is what happened to them, you guys. They wound up underground. This is telling the story. This is telling the story. Look. This is the story of the Idaho 4. This is underground. This is by boxes. This is what happened to them. There is no reason I should have a photo that looks like this from their videos. Look. They bleed into the room. Muffin, you changed your little icon. I love purple. Look at how this bleeds. Look at the boxes. Look what's showing up here. These are layers. You guys, this is what the room looks like that they went to. This is what happened to them. That photo is layered. Completely layered. This here is critical. Someone knows about this. See how there's a head here, top of the boxes? It's telling you the story. They're boxes. This is the box connected. This is telling us the story. This is the story of the SUMMERWELLS missing children called Idaho 4. I'm saying missing because they haven't been found, because their justice hasn't been served. Brian Kohlberger isn't the one to bring them justice. Their story needs to be told. It's right here. They bleed right into the boxes. Look at how fake that is. Look. You guys, they had boxes around them. This is what they did to them. See how this doesn't match? She was copied and pasted in, but they had this thing around them, and it doesn't line. They didn't line it up well. I didn't do this. Okay, shh. This doesn't line up. It's all bullshit. She had these in there, and when this is not about her, right? But when I look at things like this, this is how I do readings, right? And I see obviously a lot of pain and suffering, but I don't know who wrote this. She didn't. And it's telling the story of a lot of suffering, a lot of pain. And whoever wants to tell the story wants to get that across. Like, whoever's telling this story wants the other people to know that there's so much pain involved. And the person that they're talking about, they know who they're talking about because the symbols within these pages tell you who they're talking about, right? So if you look at this, these tell you the different people. There's different people being talked about. Not one, not two, not three. And they are symbolized in here, like a tattoo. Tattoo-like. And they mark them. I think they mark them. I think that these are marked on the people. You see, this comes from Jody Sue. When she's in the car reading. This is what her back seat looks like. It reminded me of this. Scott's and down there. This is from years ago. But that's Jody Sue's car ride. This is from the lady's video. It's really disturbing. But this is the SUMMERWELLS missing children. This is telling the story of Summer. And I just don't understand how many times I have to say it. Over and over. It's the same story. This is the same story as Summer, you guys. It's the same. There's nothing about this that is complicated to understand. What's going on here is what's going on. Period. Everything you see here are elements. It's pretty darn close. These videos, you guys, tell the story. And this is the story it's telling. This is the equipment that lines up with the story. These are tattoos. These are drawings that she drew. The heat that resonates from these is insane. The heat. The closer you get within these drawings, the more information it gives you. You see this? The top picture here is Rosemary Bly. This comes from her photo, from one of her photos. I kept it because of this. Because of this tattoo. In this woman's video, now remember, it does nothing to do with her. I get messages when I see things. She has a photo that says, Rose is winning. Rose is winning. Now, obviously, it doesn't matter what she put in there, because the truth is, I'm going to receive the information and see what I need to see to give you guys the correct reading so you understand it, right? Let me see. Rose is winning. Let's see if I have it up here. Wait. I didn't put it in here. I don't know why. But I'm looking through the pictures. And then when I saw the tattoo, I'm like, I feel the Rosemary Bly's presence. Now, I haven't felt Rosemary Bly's presence in a long time. It's something that oh, here it is. Rose will win. And then it has a fuck you finger up. That's a dog. Told you there's a dog. These are Summer's feet, you guys. This was in a video from the beginning. These are Summer's feet. They have tattoos on them. Just like that. They get marked. Summer has an L. She has a star. And her feet are not touching the ground. She's hanging. All of this is the same story. These are being placed using the same system. This goes back years and years and years. There is no difference, you guys, between Summer Moon's marking on her legs. Wait. And Rosemary Bly than there are on this little boy's shirt. Summers is a star. That's Rosemary Bly's. And that's Don. That's Don. Don is showing the items, the elements in his own daughter's murder. This isn't his shirt. This is an element taken from the sacrifice. Not a shirt. That's Don Wells. Isn't anyone going to question this motherfucker? And let's not forget about this guy cooking pizza in his kitchen. I still have a couple people on my list to watch for. He's one of them. I'm almost done. 3 minutes. Go. 3 minutes, you guys. Right here. Every one of these photos, you guys, my goal here is to show you how I could take stuff from a current creator at any given time and pull it in with information from decades ago. Whatever's going on, nothing has changed other than the number of kids. Many, many more children. This here really sums up a lot of stuff. He here is showing the elements within these cases. Really, really clearly. There are certain people that show information that it's not deep faked and it's right in front of us. He's one of them. He's one of them. That's the V. Turn it upside down. That is the ultimate symbol. Those pointy fingers. I don't know whose fingernails those are. Those can't be his. Those can't be his fingernails. They're girls' fingernails. And the tips are chopped off. Do you understand? The tips are chopped off. That is a woman's nail. That is a woman's nail. I showed you in the beginning the finger chopper. I wasn't kidding. I wasn't kidding. This dude has his fucking fingers chopped. And look at the smiley face with that thing coming out of the mouth. Those are elements. Look what's around his neck. These are elements. Elements. Law enforcement, wake up and smell the blood. Literally. What more do you need? That photo is crazy. This photo is crazy. On that note, I'm going to leave you all. This was amazing. I'm happy you made it back, Muffin. You guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope I got my point across clearly. It's super important. I did get one report back from one of the documentary big places. I am in consideration, which is better than saying a no. All right, you guys, that is it for now. Thank you all for the kind words. Thank you all for being here. Like I always say, and I always will, I can't be doing this without you guys. Absolutely not. Keep the faith. I'll keep chugging along, and let's see if we could figure these fingers out. This guy is total suspect. I love you all. God bless you all. And may we bring justice to these kids super soon. Good night, guys.